Welcome everybody to round 1 of RBT6. Today's match we've got two we've got two NA blockbuster teams going at it head to head. Leave Blue 2.0 and Apeman in today's match on Hard Rain. I'll be solo casting, streamed by Klaika. Someone's calling me, fuck off. And we're about to go live. Both teams already within server. I'll do a roster rundown very shortly. How you doing, Krycha? Are you going to be talking this game, or is it just all me? It's just all me. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Teams are ready up, so I'll quickly do a roster rundown. We'll start off from Team 8men. We've got Presto, the one and only, and a powerhouse with the Uzi. We've got Bravo, Mr. Tilt, Impulse, and Lorne, aka Bobby. And on the other team, Team Leave Blue 2.0, we've got Abdullah, otherwise known as Gay Kid. We've got Elusive, the PogChamp, TTV. We've got Synodal, Blue, and we've got the king of NA, the loved. We've got Adam, ex-Pubstar, out here to prove his worth on Team Leave Blue 2.0. So one ready up away, waiting for Elusive to get going, and we'll get the match going. First hit is Smoker, Charger, Jockey, and Spitter, so they've got a pretty good hit off the bat. Be interesting to see how both teams roll out. It is a neutral game, maps 1 to 4 to my understanding, unless I'm misunderstood and there is a finale. But waiting for Adam to ready up. Both teams have pretty equal ping. If anything, Bravo and Impulse have about 30 higher than the average, I suppose. But game is live. For Team 8men, we've got Bravo and I think Presto. Nope, Bobby. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say his name. But Bravo and Lorne have got the guns. Quick work of the Smoker that does get an instant cleared, or doesn't land. The Jockey, bit of damage. Charger gets a punch. Spitter gets a few ticks, and good first take by 8men. We're out here to dominate the NA presence. Tank in the hands of Elusive. Be interesting to see how he performs on the first map of Hard Rain. It is a green ping tank, so I don't imagine any long arms, but that car's hit pretty well. So looking to get both of his cars in, as many hittables as he can for this first tank, which is all really about either good support or lucky hittables. It's pretty hard for the tank to pretty much walk in and get his own corner, as we saw from the earlier match between Pubstar and Immortal Tempest. This is a pretty rough tank if you don't get the right support. So a few rocks by Elusive, who will essentially roll on to second pass nice and quickly, getting himself into position. Car bounces off that post. That would have been a Kobe if I'd ever seen one. Second pass, 50%, is forced to commit with a charge, jock, and I don't have my spec card up, but it looks like a fat discreet of a spawn boomer. Tank getting railed, 3k health left, kiting pretty well. 8men, whiff by Elusive, who manages to possibly get a corner onto Presto. One more punch away till he goes down, and the tank should die. He gets an extra punch onto Lorne. Felt a little bad, but few questions in chat as to where is Lucky Lock. I suppose the brain in Team Leave Blue 2.0, the father of Cedar Pogs. Good take though by 8men, nice and clean. Abdul, Gay Kid. Oh, I shouldn't say that word. I'm gonna stick to Abdul, waiting to get off the mark. Apologies. Christian server, Christian channel.
Ammo.
On 0 points at the moment, but I'm sure he'll get off the mark because he's got a smoker. That's it. Looking to pull from behind. There's a charge and Hunt look to inflict some damage from the front. Bravo just taking his time, making sure all common are cleared before he pushes down into probably one of the biggest chokes in this round. Thank you, sir, for making this hit harder than it needed to be. Always having valuable contributions to Zone Mod 2.0. 2 point whatever it's up to. Gay Kid remains on 0, fortunately for him. But the charge bit still looking to do some damage. Nice wall kick. Charger goes for the stumble on Nick. Probably a little too early, so I don't think he got as much damage as he could have. But I don't think the charger's going for Nick. I think he was trying to go for Coach Presto, who was flush against that window. And there's going to be some go-going happening from Team Apeman. There is a set of pills in the ambulance that will be picked up by Presto.
Don't shoot.
Just lacking a bit of coordination at the moment are Team Leave Blue. But I'm sure they'll pick it up very soon.
Look for landmarks. It might be dark on our way back.
Smoker tries to pull from the front, doesn't land the pull, as well as the jockey who gets M2. The nice triple boom though by Abdul. Potential points on the board. Or not. No, that wasn't. Yes, 2 points on the board. He's smiling now. Is Abdul. 4 points on the board. He's on the up and up. Everyone was doubting him, but little did you guys know that in a whole round one, hard rain, not Parrish, he's going to put double digits on the board. Points for Apeman looking quite hefty, 564 bonus on the cards. Just last hit, and they're going to go. They fake it very nicely too as the hunter lands, and Blue will get a few ticks out of it. Abdul nearly tripling his SI damage off of one hit. First round score, 924 points for Team Apeman. It's a good first half to this neutral server. Leave Blue are going to have to make sure that they put a competitive score on the board also, but it's pretty easy to come back from, I suppose, if you do make it to the safe room with not as much bonus as the opponent team, but they just have to make sure they don't get wiped, because if they get wiped, they're in all sorts of trouble. They'll have 2 digits on the board under. Maybe they'll get about 70 points on the board if they get wiped here, so they need to make sure that their clears are tight. Kiting is in unison, I suppose. Make sure there's no separation, as well as no one eats a hittable. So as long as the survivor play is in good coordination, I don't imagine why Leave Blue can't get just as much, if not more, on the board. But from what I've seen in the lead up to this match, there has been a bit more chemistry on the team of Apeman. So I expect some good hits. Here we go. Team Leave Blue. Deagle in the hands of someone. Can't see it anymore. Ellis. Blue's got the Deagle. Adam with the Uze. And Shotgun in the hands of Abdul. Very tidy first hit. If not, they took it better than the Apeman. So that's good to see. 3 zeros on the board. Bravo with the only damage. Early on, it seems like a very NA-sided game with just exceptional survivor play. Questionable SI. What do I know? I'm just a cunt. Good pop. Abdul. Showing up on survivor side. Car well positioned. Hunter pre-spawns at the back and goes in. Gets skeeted by Blue. Rocking that shock on the smoker will be quickly cleared too. Still 3 zeros on the board for Apeman. Who are showing early signs of... I won't say that. Someone get a zoom in on that tank. Dancing, doing the worm. Love it. Presto. Confidence in his tanking. A bit of style points. A bit of charisma. And the car nearly lands on Coach. Close indeed. Oh, it does land on Coach. Adam got caught taking his eyes off the tank. Will get picked up quite quickly, but needs to pop his pills. The jockey lands. This is another car. That's a charge onto Adam. This might be a kill. Presto dancing on the survivors at the moment who are... is that Blue? No, that's Abdul eating a straight rock. Well, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and call it a piece him rock. Presto trying to secure a kill. Get the punch. He's 2 cars away. 1 more car away. Does he get it? He won't get the kill. But does get it down on Abdul. So,
It's time to get up. Hey, good. Thanks a lot. Look for landmarks. It might
what have we learned?
way back.
It's going to be a quick get. Just joking. That good SI, I suppose, from Bravo and Co. I don't know why I said Bravo. Presto and Co. Good work so far. Good pressure built. Domination, assertiveness shown by Team Apeman.
Ammo here.
An early card lands onto Adam, who takes his eyes off for 1 second and comes to bite him in the ass. Suppose Abdul also eating a free rock. Unluckily, he does get hunted, but then card, so that wasn't too much he could do about it. Suppose Adam also ate a charge on that tank, or it may have been a free charge. So let's take the pub star Adam out of play and just put a pub Adam at the moment. Joking, I love you, brother. Or Bants. Taking the time, taking the roof. Nick. Who is Nick? Elusive gets hunt spat on. Charge lands onto Abdul, who'll get sent back to somewhere in the Middle East. A pound to inflict further pain. 2 in chat. Not everything out of hand though. They've still got 100 bonus, which is about 400 shy of Apeman, but the map distance is worth 400. So if they can put about even 450 on the board, a 500 point gap isn't too much on hard drain. There are plenty of opportunities to come back, especially with the new early tank spawns courtesy of Benjamin. And the unforgiving field hit, how can we forget, on hard rain. So it is a bit of a lead. I wouldn't be too concerned, I suppose. Apemen will have good confidence going into map 2, but always plenty of opportunity to come back. Shut down from the smoke, in cap onto Abdul in the safe room, who doesn't take his pills. That will cost his team a bit of DB. But they should still walk on with about 80 maybe? Yeah, about 80 bonus. So not too far apart. Score differential about 450. Dare I say 440? DB or what happened to the Deeb? In chat. So what have we learnt from map 1? Don't eat your hittables. More importantly, don't take your eyes off the hittables. I've caught that plenty of times, unfortunately. And then the charger landing and the jockey landing. So it was good support, essentially. Good early car from Presto, who danced his way in survivors on round 1. Another early tank on round 2. This is a good opportunity for Leave Blue to bounce back. So interesting to see what they are able to do on round 2 of Hard Rain. It is a neutral server, just a reminder for those who have just tuned in, so there won't be another opportunity for either teams to make good on any deficit. Also, there's no way an NA team plays on away. And there's no need to when you've got a neutral server available. 2 green ping games is where it's at. Good pull, good hunt, good spit, good boom, bit of damage onto impulse, a bit of spread onto the remainder survivors. Great start out of the safe room for a 2-2 hit. This is good. This is what I like to see. Tank will be in the capable hands of Blue, the young blood, emerging star in the NA community, making his way quickly through the competitive community, putting a name out there for himself, leading players, leading veteran players maybe, like Adam.
Look out!
Here we go. Charge and miss, boomer miss. Jockey does that and helps the boomer get a bit of damage. Good skeet by Lorne onto Adam. 6 shot skeet. A few ticks on the boomer. The tank will be spawning just around the corner. I'll be interested. Ooh, just as I say it, survivors push back towards the open area. I suppose it's kind of like a construction site, I suppose. Little park. Tank will be pathing his way through the little hallway, up the ladder on top of the broken house, potentially getting a car in, if not playing a bit of a rock tank, but early signs show that he'll be getting that car in because it is quite a big one-up, I suppose, to have as a tank when you've got a big hittable to work with. At the moment though, this hittable has not worked with Blue and is currently sitting outside of the map, so there goes first pass, and he's got no choice but to commit with a smoke charge hunt, which isn't the baddest of combinations. It's pretty safe to commit with this SI. Maybe a jockey over the charger may have been profitable, but Blue right in there. Down to 2k health! Oh, lands his first punch on about 1700 health. The charger gets 2 pounds. Make that 3. Can I get 4? Can I get 5? Is anyone gonna fucking clear Presto? Incapped. 2 incaps from Blue. Maybe gets a finishing rock onto Nick and a punch to follow. Oh, whiffs. Unfortunate.
Gentlemen, I need some help.
Blue, big work.
For a little longer, so let's get you back on your
But if I fucking copped 5 charger pounds on a tank,
I think I really heard something.
I'd be furious. So, a lot of health as well as brain cells has been lost from that tank fight for Team Apeman. Really reflecting the ape in the name.
I'm a reload.
Presto copping an unnecessary incap, and the sad thing was actually the tank had 1700 health by the first punch, and the first charge had landed. A good hunt onto Coach, who cops another 40 health maybe from that hit. So DB Presto well and truly into the game, not on his own accountability but from the clearing of his own teammates. So unfortunate. I mean, if you're gonna say that was bad positioning by Presto, you're either inexperienced, for which you're forgiven, or you're retarded, for which you're not. My man copped 5 pounds from a charger. You can't say that was bad positioning. He was kiting a tank, and his teammates refused to kill him. Good hit! Lovely! Lovely! 2 punches onto Presto. The smoker gets a bit of damage as well as jockey and coordination. I love it!
Reloading.
This is good pressure from Blue and his boys. Let's go. Stacking for maybe another charge. They've got a spit. Looks like they want to hold it. Not going for a quad cap. Maybe the R word was a little harsh. I apologize. Kind of deserved. But I apologize anyway because this is RBT6 and we have high values. and high expectations of casters, admins, moderators, and the staff running this lovely tournament, as Bravo now gets the charger treatment. And this is black and white Bravo. Dare I say the tilt has begun?
Damn! I need some help!
Touch wood, touch wood.
If you don't get yourself healed up, that's it.
Look at that bonus though. 223 bonus. A smack load of SI damage already done onto the survivors, and the DB is well and truly gone. A smack 0 DB. Like the damage some players do in Cedar Pugs nowadays. I'm sure Hydro and Caution can attest to the lovely Cedar Pug we played earlier. Presto isn't black and white, but Bravo is, so they need to be careful to make sure that he does not die. Distant points are very important, I suppose, once a team's popped a lot of damage. Bravo gets spat on, gets common blocked. Presto very close to being black and white, so this is, I'm liking this round from Boys and his boys. Boys and his boys, I mean Blue and his boys. Leave Blue 2.0. They never left, they've always been in the game, and this is where it's been really impressive. It's a bit of balance between maybe Apeman losing a bit of focus and good coordination from Leave Blue. I'm liking this. It's good. They're proving that they're not going to be dominated, that they're here to fight.
Watch out!
Head for the sign!
Bonus at now 18%. The charger doesn't land. The hunter takes a bit to land the charger. Abdul will get out. Punch onto Nick and escapes. Barely.
Keep moving!
Charger misses. Unfortunate. But expected. In a big field of openness.
Head for the sign! Head for the
If you're the only spawn making loud noises in the field, it'd be hard to land, I'd imagine. Unless you're a pub star, you need a double charge and need to get quadded in this very field.
Look out!
But, like I said, this field is very unforgiving. Probably one of the biggest chokes in Left 4 Dead 2 from all the maps. Seen plenty of teams lose so much bonus. Good example will be one of the earlier matches, I think, between a Korean and an SA team, I believe. Both teams had about 800 bonus and both teams lost about 800 bonus in the very field. But focusing on this game, Team Apeman making it into the safe room with 100 bonus, and to be honest, with that early tank spawn, depending on how they fight it, this could be a big round from Team Lee Boys. I mean, I'm butchering the team's name every time I say it, but Lee Blue 2.0. This is their time to shine. Presta just not ready yet to get his boys out there onto the battlefield. Maybe a bit of repositioning. Hana about to pre-spawn maybe. Impulse. Looking to get a bit of damage on the inside, which probably makes sense because with a 2-2 hit, most teams would go on the inside. There's not too much reward going in the outside. As a hunter does go in, the Spitter actually leads that hit. This hunter is struggling to get inside. And weirdly enough, they sacked the boom spit first to get another boom spit. Maybe there's a high IQ play that I'm not aware of. Who am I to judge? Good take. 4 zeros on the board this time. Much like the first hit of round 1 from Apeman, very little damage coming out on the board. But the tank will be spawned. Good amount of pressure applied from Team Leave Blue. Charger misses. The jockey gets M2'd a few times. The spit misses. And this will be some pressure being applied for about a hot 2 seconds as they make their way back, tanking the hands off. Impulse, veteran player of LePatel 2. Good chip, I suppose, for 150 by Abdul. For those of you who are just joining, this is round 1 of RBT6 2022. Teams registered about 75, 74. 50% of them are South American, as a hot fact. Lovely tournament's been running for a couple years now, hosted by Rails Fig, with great support from Vanille and all the casters and streamers that come along with it. Tank is 15%, 10% frustration. Hunter going in for an early hunt does land onto Ellis, and this might be a corner unless he jumps his way out of it. Tank on about 2k health. That smoker will get cleared, but that charger lands. Will this charger eat about 5 pounds? We've got 2 in chat, 3. He's already in cap, so there's no need to clear this. Tank misses a punch, and that will be the end of the tank.
Can't you suck it up?
Hell, I don't know.
What a great take by Leave Blue. Understanding that
You are welcome.
Blue has already taken the in cap, allowing that charge to get the extra pounds is acceptable. I take that. Nothing wrong with keeping the charger alive. That way they know that they're not going to have a charge for the next hit. They're going to be committing with a 2-2 for a nice open hit as the boomer lands onto Abdul. A hunter coming in for a hot hunt and gets cleared. Lovely take by Leave Blue. They just need to protect Blue's DB here. Currently sitting at 95%.
I owe you one.
That's about the third 2-2 hit we've seen from Apeman, who are currently getting their sack order, if not slightly, but completely wrong. Good pop by Blue onto Bravo,
Frying pan.
which only means that they get another boomer for the next hit. The charger goes for punches and gets cleaned. And you know what? Say it with me. 2-2 for the 4th hit out of 5 so far. Wait, is it a 2-2 or am I silly? Am I silly? Hold on. Let's give my... Yep, that's a 2-2. So out of the 5 hits we've seen from Team Apeman, 4 of them have been 2-2s. Is this the new meta in zone mod that I'm unaware of? The Hunter Priestborn gets a nice hunt onto onto somebody, onto Elusive. It cops a bit of damage, but you know what? It's acceptable. No one's dead. No one's reset. They've all got a bit of DB. Not a bit of DB. They've all got high DB because they've protected Blue pretty well. He's rocking at the back. 95% DB. This is good. A whopping 775 bonus still on hand, and granted that they take 2 hits nicely here, they'll be able to get into the field with 700 bonus. So nice skeet by Abdul. M2 also out. Boomer walking up the ladder should get cleared. Land the double boom, unfortunately, but that won't be too harmful. Mr. Abdul skeeted that hunter in 3 shots. Good shout out to him because he has the Uze or the Susie. Big skeet by Abdul. And you know what? The elevator is here. So 3 cap spit. They're going to go for one more hit, I'd imagine. Can we get another skeet in chat? M2. Charger lands, unfortunately, but the spit won't spread there. 1 pound onto Elusive. But you know what? The DB is still sitting at 95%. So really, although all this damage is coming onto the health bonus of Team Leave Blue, they've actually done a pretty good job of protecting their DB player, which I think a lot of teams can learn, I suppose. A lot of zone mod is heavily carried by the DB. And we make our way to the deadliest of hits of Hard Rain. As a boomer misses, a new addition onto this map involves that little plank of wood that covers that elevator,
Thanks,
Ammo.
brother.
preventing that boom that was so easy to land before. So that boomer does die. If I were team Leave Blue, I'd be going right through this field because they're completely aware of the fact that Team Apeman are going for a quarter. That DP lands! Jockey lands, will get cleared though. And this should be a safe room. They need a go right now because that DB is at about 70%. And that's what they need to come right back into this game. They won't have the lead, unfortunately, but if this charger doesn't land a multi, doesn't land at all, let's just take that back. Impulse missing a charge, does get a punch though to, if anything, redeem himself, but that is 1500 points as a total for Team Leave Blue, and they're right back in this game. Have a look at that, a bit of SI fact from that round. Entire team shooting SI pretty nicely, about 25% on all of them, if not Adam getting nearly 30. Good DP was probably the only highlight in the round, I suppose, of Infector. That's a little harsh. That actually landed a bit of damage, but I think it was just a very well performed map from team side. I promise I'll get the team name right. Team Blue. I'm just gonna call them Blue. This is too hard. I'm not built for this. I'm gonna call them Sidemen, which is completely wrong. But Team Blue. Luckily enough for Apeman, they're still ahead, just by a bit. A worrisome bit, because they're, what was it, a big 400, not a big 400, but a 450 point lead has now reduced to just 100 points. They've sacked that boomer early on with a charged smoke jockey, only to get a hunter, so they're going for a quad in the field. They have slowed down as the jockey and... Oh, that's nearly a double charge, but that'll be an excellent clear onto Impulse. Charger going for a few scratches, a bit of love shed across the board for, well, not for, but onto Apeman. Because that boom didn't land in the safe room, I don't think there was too much pressure onto Apeman to take that field hit, so well taken, I suppose. A bit of damage, I wouldn't be too upset if I was Team Blue, but this will be a 2-2 hit. Top of the shaft. Tank is at 80% in the hands of Abdul. So it is a late tank fought by the last cabin before the safety room. Taking the time clearing out the common.
Back down the stairs.
Back down the stairs. And down the stairs they shall go. Except they loop one more time because they're trying to go through the most obvious of spots, but they double bluff. And the infected team catch them off guard. Unfortunately, the charger gets cleared. Is this a reset? It is not. But you know what? That's a bit of damage onto Impulse there. If that boomer hadn't stumbled the charge, that was looking like a juicy double charge. Unfortunately, there's a lack of coordination. I think they both just rocket spawned or tried to B-hop spawn around the same corner, and a stumble is bound to happen. So unfortunately, Abdul not having any points yet, but it is his tank, so redemption looming. However, good damage distribution. That charge nearly lands, the boomer does, however, and the smoker will pull back Ellis. The boomer forcing an M2, a punch on the charge, 2 punches on the charge, and common damage onto Impulse. So this is actually pretty good pre-tank damage onto Apeman. So I wouldn't be too upset, although there's no one bleeding, but this just means the tank's job should be easier to corner someone or down someone once he finds himself a corner. The survivor team looking to open up the shack, maybe break it down to try fight it here. If not, they're just positioning in an area that results in the least damage after walking out of that factory. Hunter's pre-spawn at the back, might go for a wall kick, probably hard to go for a wall kick. The jockey does land, the spit causes separation. Unfortunately, Bravo and, not Bravo, Impulse and Rochelle copping a bit of spit damage as we get tank in the hands of Abdul. Impulse forced to pop his pills. He's rotating nicely, cleanly into the warehouse and probably getting cleanly and most likely commit with the next hit. He's got a charge. Hunt. Lawn just quickly breaking down the shack, providing further area to kite this tank. They have to be careful here, the survivor team. If they don't block all the spawns, there may be an early cap. They do have a hunter, stealthy capper. I don't know if they have a smoke or a... Nope, they've got a jockey. Tank is in! Trying to walk through the middle and does land that curve jump, or strafe jump. The hunter's in! The hunter's in! The misses the wall kick! Elusive, causes his tank some pain as he manages to potentially get a corner. Does get a pound. The jockey and charger land in sync. The charger, 2 pounds. Story of all these tanks just pounding away, and jockey does get cleared nicely by the survivor squad, but unfortunately, good damage spread, but the DB is sitting on 100%. This is a big round, I suppose, for Up this pipe. I mean, it is a good round, but it is not the biggest of rounds. 450 bonus, I suppose, is okay for hard rain. Map 3. Granted that the tank was very late. The health bonus is sitting quite low at the moment, 30%, but DB, I suppose, is still high. And if Blue and his boys want to inflict some damage, they should be looking at hitting Impulse here to drop that DB. Get rid of that perm he's got. Hunter's free spawn. This should be a free spit. That's a good skeet. Nice free spit. Maybe spreads into the corner, forcing the survivors to take the long way. Spitter will try get out here. Smoker's still up. Might try a smoke or hold someone up, but both survivors looking to pull. Does get an instant clear on himself. Self-clear, rather. Spitter just gets out. That might be a hunt from Coach to try to kill that Spitter, but we'll split block the final corridor as Coach jumps into some spit. DB at 95% now as Nick cops a bit of damage. A charger, jockey, punch, 2 punches onto Impulse, who cops a further amount of DB loss, and that bonus goes from 470 to 340. So 130 bonus gone in the last 2 scrambling hits from Team Blue, or Leave Blue 2.0 to give them full recognition. And that is actually very achievable by Team Leave Blue. 350 is probably below average for a bonus score of map 3, especially on a neutral green ping server. Now that's a good boom. That's what Team Leave Blue wanted actually on their round, to delay the survivors. So definitely potential for Apeman to have a better opportunity at landing the squad cap in the field, because they're not really going to have to rush their spawns. There's only 5 seconds on the timer left for Lorne, and he'll probably try to spawn his hunter either on the top or behind the shack. Try to get a wall kick. The charge is now well within reach of landing a jump spawn, and he actually tries to go for a jump spawn. Charger misses, however. The hunter and... well, I think, in my opinion, the hunter was too late, missing pounces. So I think that's probably a better take than Apeman. But they still have the smoker for a 2-2 hit. Counting the 2-2s, Apeman are up to 6 2-2s. Sorry, I think that's 1 too many. 5 2-2s. Fortunately, this one was one that they could not avoid, because obviously they wanted that quad cap in the field. Taking their time, going through the traditional drop down the staircase, hold the back wall, clearing out a bit of the common that are trickling in from that boomer that had landed. But this just gives Team Apeman an opportunity, maybe not an opportunity, but gives them a charger at the bare minimum, as survivors all group together in that one corner at the back. The Spitter lands on top of Adam's head. Doesn't get cleared by the survivors, so I'm not too sure if he'll be too happy by that. If anything, he copped about 10 more damage than he needed to. But
Hey, I'm reloading.
Look, it's not
Reloading.
too bad. I suppose if they protect the health bonus of Blue and probably, well, definitely Elusive and Abdul, who's rocking about 73 HP, they should be able to get through this tank pretty nicely. Kind of causing a bit of creation, a bit of panic, I suppose, onto the survivors, but this will be a good transition through the warehouse. A shout out to Bravo, who's still rocking 0 infected damage.
Reloading.
Trying his best for an Abdul impersonation. Oh, that is some separation onto Rochelle. She better get out of there real quick because they've got a smoke of this hit. It looks like they're trying to save for one more desperate hit at the end. The Hunter's going into the skybox. Presto going for a DP, and much like any other NA team, they're going to have 4 survivors staring at one Hunter instead of holding the go-go. Still makes me question as to why that exists, but we might have questioned the authority, the assertive nature of the NA powerhouse. So a bit of damage onto the boomed victims, but good amount of health preservation, I suppose, from Elusive and Blue. Looking onto the ammo, both the shotgun players have good amount of ammo. Maybe Blue has about 400 or about 400 bullets, so he should be conserving his bullets. Plenty of bullets to fight this tank. There aren't too many hits that will go into this tank, considering he's about 50% first pass nearly. So I'd imagine the tank's going to be committing with this next hit. They just need to be careful of the ghost smoker that's set up on the double silo. So, I mean, I'm not too sure if both Rochelle and Coach needed to pop their pills, but maybe it's just a passive play to make sure they hold as much DB as they can. But this tank is rolling in about 3k health before he gets his first punch. Just infected, making a bit of noise to... Oh! Jockey's target gets stolen by the charger, but look at that damage that rolls onto boys and Blue boys. And getting onto the ladder, tries to get a ladder punch, but unfortunately, Blue goes from 100 to 0 at tank fight, and they're looking to hold the go-go here. So at the moment, bonus is still about 395. They actually lost quite a bit of bonus on that tank fight because of the separation of health, not the health, but the damage distribution from the tank, as well as the side that did land quite nicely to support that tank. And I think maybe a recap would be to kite a little, not really kite a little further away from each other, but they were just too clustered for that tank fight. It was just too easy to land that that multi-cap. Maybe if they had a few survivors that positioned themselves a little further away from each other as to not cluster themselves for that tank fight, it would have seemed a little more, I suppose, fruitful for the survivors. But they've still got a good amount of bonus. They're actually still winning this round. The charger misses. Oh, called that too early. Charger doesn't miss. Hunter gets a bit of damage. Abdul reduces that DB by another 110, but I think the score differential won't be too high. Maybe a 200 point differential going into map 4. If I knew how to math, that'd help. At 160 points is the exact difference going into map 4. This is exactly what I expect. 2 very dominant NA teams. Plenty of potential, plenty of frag power on each team, and it's definitely been a close game. I've been impressed by, I suppose, the comeback, if more than anything, by Team Lee Blue 2.0. They've actually held in and brought it back quite impressively from the, I suppose, shit show, to put it nicely, of round 1. But this is good. I think the last tank is in the hands of... I think Adam. I think Adam gets the last tank here. Team leave blue. A nice, I suppose, mid spawn tank. I suppose the survivors will obviously take it back to fight it on the rooftops. Kreitzer, can you confirm if it's a 1-4? I see Inspect Mal has confirmed it is. But first hit is looking like a 2-2, which has been the story of the SI in this game. Let's see what they can gain. Hunter's actually set at the ladder because the expectation is that Apeman will come out looking at that rooftop, as do most teams. So it's a smart position if you can land this wall kick. No. Yes, there we go. Oh, oh, presto.
Reloading.
Elusive, 54 damage from that spitter.
Reloading. Don't shoot that car.
On the flip side, presto, 35 HP
There's that porch light
from that spitter. Why are admins being summoned? Why are admins being summoned? Do you know why, Kreitzer? I don't know. I don't know. Let's just go with he had a thought. But Adam's got his cars in nicely. They are kind of stacking up, and as the story goes, you ever overhit these hittables, a team will help the go-go. So he needs to be careful as to not hit this last red car too. Oh, never mind. Oh, the hittable onto the roof nicely, should provide some cover. Adam rolling in with about 4.7k health, pushing the survivors back into the corner. That car is hit for a home run. That car's hit. I don't know where that's hit, but Adam really struggling to get it down here. We'll get maybe a rock onto the ground. It does so successfully, and this is a dead tank from Adam. So hittable's not working in his favor whatsoever. I'm not too sure why team Leave Blue wanted to keep a boomer. I don't know if they wanted to. Maybe they got the sack order wrong and forgot that the tank's on low thrust. But committing on a boomer there is definitely not advisable, especially if the team kites all the way to the ground and you land it as the tank dies. That boomer, however, does land, contrast to the one on the tank. Oh, how's that for spit damage onto Impulse? I'm hoping at this point of the game, Adam's mental is still holding strong. Because it's still winnable. They just need one fat hit. The score was only 160 points apart. Lorne's still sitting on 100 HP. Touch wood. Can't remember what the other SI was on the tank. If you can remind me, Kreitzer was a hunt boom and something else. Either a charge, maybe? Smoke, okay. Taking the time, they know that this is the final hit before they make their way to the safe room. They all jump out to the playground side. Charger does land, but gets cleared. The hunter does land, gets cleared. The M2 on the jockey, as well as the smoke, does get insta-cleared by somebody.
We passed this on the way in.
So the bonus, 648.
Reloading.
Total bonus for the map, 880. Score differential before this round, 168. Bonus required by Team Leave Blue, too much. 648 plus 169 is probably what they need. And what is that, about 800 and something?
I'm all turned around now.
Which is pretty much a flawless round required here by Leave Blue. And I mean, it is possible, it is an early tank. And I've seen teams make it with a very high bonus because this tank is quite hard to play. As demonstrated by Adam, but I don't think it's completely... I mean, look, a hunter landed for him. He missed an underarm rock. Unfortunately, the boomer didn't land. I'm not too sure what happened with the smoker. He could have got a punch. Wait, was it a no-hitter tank? I think that was a no-hitter tank. Or he landed a punch, I don't know. But it's a pretty rough tank to play. I hate it, I always get it. I couldn't only imagine how hard it was for Adam. Drawing all that POG, Cedar POG energy. Good news, Blue still remaining positive. As positive as he can be. Waiting for one more ready. As Presto, for the third map in a row, takes his time to ready up. Because his time is most valuable. Hunter's pre-spawn on the bottom, trying to hide in the bush however, and it is quite well hidden. Jockey also on the roof pre-spawn with that boomer. The survivors are out. Well then truly the spit lands onto Ellis, and will this be the same amount of damage onto Blue? And with that, unfortunately, is GG for Team Leave Blue 2.0. GG's all around. In stream chat, obviously not in game chat because that would be a little premature.
Shotgun.
A lot of damage rocking out again for a 2-2 hit. Both teams take that hit quite poorly. Last tank in the hands of Lon. Make his way in nicely. Positioning that car in an area that you can get in, but I'd be curious to know if Team Leave Blue hold the go-go on this tank, considering that the game's over. If the tank overhits its hittables, it presents an opportunity, I suppose, for the survivor team to just hold the go-go. This car is torpedoing its way in close proximity of the survivors. That car is hit onto the ground. That tank does a backflip on the ground. So both tanks opting to get all their hittables nice and close to the survivors. That is definitely a sack from that smoker, but I'll tell you what, that's not a sack from Lord. Oh my god! Oh, that is a triple hittable from Lorne, who dances on the survivors and pretty much highlights map 4 for Team Leave Blue. Rochelle, who was Rochelle? I missed who Rochelle was. Hits that car, followed by a double car at the back. And unfortunately, that is the end of the first round. Hard rain. Team Apeman take the lad. I think on the replay it shows Adam eating the first hit, followed by Abdul and Blue. So map 4 will haunt Adam for the first round of Swiss. Unfortunately for him, has a no-hitter potential, I think, followed by eating a car. So unfortunately for Team Leave Blue, as early as it is into RBT6, they take a loss for the first round of Hard Rain. Was very impressive with the comeback they managed on maps 2 and 3. So that was good to see. They had actually had a good chance of winning the game after what it seemed like Apeman dropping the ball on maps 2 and 3. So well played by Apeman, obviously taking the win going into round 2, 1-0. Plenty of time still for Leave Blue to get a few dubs on the board. But thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Congrats to all those in chat that win vodkas from Crych's stream. Drinking is a sin. You guys are all going to hell. GG, thanks for watching.